Hello, Kalive here, and welcome to Ark Survival Ascended, the island. And yes, this is the island playthrough, even though we're not on the island at the moment. So I'm just here for a quick demonstration, then I'll be off of Scorched Earth. So in the previous episodes, we have been knocking out the caves, and we're going to continue that trend with the 2 water caves for the artifacts in this episode. And these start off the harder caves on the island. And one of them is probably the hardest cave on the island, but we do have our dinos that are bred up for that. So we'll tackle those pretty soon, and we'll also check out an easier way to get those artifacts. But first, what I want to do is I want to prepare for the first boss, and that's why I'm over here. Been working on some saddles, and out of all the things in this game, saddle crafting is probably the hardest part of it in my opinion. It does require quite the grind, so you have to spend a lot of time getting a bunch of resources and then transferring them and putting them on different things, and it's pretty tedious to do that. So we're gonna take a look at how that works, and it's a little more complicated than what you think if you've never done it before. So you can go ahead and gather all the resources and then just craft the saddles. But you're losing out on some bonus armor and some stats if you do that. So the ideal thing to do is to put all of your points into the crafting stat, and then you can increase the effectiveness of whatever you're crafting. So there are a couple ways to do this particular task, and the easiest thing to do is to respec using the mind wipe tonics. So that's these things right here. And if you do this, you do want to make sure that you check your settings on single player or on the server that you're on, because by default you can only use one of these per day. So you can spec into full crafting, but you won't be able to spec out of it until the next day. So there's a setting that lets you change that so you can actually use mind wipe tonics all the time. And if you're on official servers and you have those restrictions, what most people did in Ark Survival Evolved was they would actually have a dedicated character that they leveled up on a different account from their main account, and they use that one for all their crafting stuff. So regardless of how you do that, the process for creating better saddles, and really anything that has a blueprint for it, is to make these mind wipe tonics. And in order to do that, you can craft those in an industrial cooker. So over here, consumables, and if you look at the ingredients, they're not that bad. It just depends on which map you're on. But for the most part, the mind wipe tonics are pretty easy to make. So let's get started crafting. Before you do craft, you want to make sure that you have your blueprints and all the materials ready to go. So mine are in an RG, and RG is the second best place to craft stuff. It works just like a blacksmithing table, but you do have a lot more slots. Like a blacksmithing table has 70, although a blacksmithing table does have unlimited weight. But the RG, if you have a high weight RG, this actually works better, I believe. So make sure you have your crafting station set up with everything in it. I should have enough materials to craft 3 or 4 of these. The next thing you want to do is you want to take off your gear. So let's get rid of everything we don't need. And the reason why you want to do this is because when you do a mind wipe, you're going to remove all of your weight stats. So you're going to be very careful with that, because if you are overburdened, then you won't be able to move around and craft stuff. So we have our gear dropped off. We have our crafting station ready. Let's actually move this guy over. Let me move him over here real quick. Alright, we're good to go now. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab 2 of these. Just need 2 of these. And we're also going to grab a focal chili. So now we need to take the mind wipe tonic. So let's consume that. Just consume 1 of them. All of our points are reset, so we have 105 levels available. We need to put all of those into the crafting skill. Alright, so we now have 1150% crafting skill. So that's quite a bit. And now what we need to do is take the focal chili. The focal chili, if you read the effects, it does increase our crafting speed. I don't think it shows the bonus, but it does give us a bonus. So it does give us an increased crafting ability. So now, once we have that done, we just come over here and then we can just fire this off by hitting A. And we can craft 3 of them. Alright, so now that we have these things crafted, we can look at them. So we can see the base is going to be 55.7. We can just grab these. We can compare them. So this is the starter armor. So this one has a 44.5% skill bonus. So it's actually pretty good. So we got 69.4 armor, which is a pretty good amount of armor for what we started with. 44.5% is not bad. This one has 13.6%. This is on the very low end. But it's still doable, 59.9, and this one is 9.9%, which is on the low end as well. So we did get at least one good one. So if you do get one that's like under 10%, what you could do is you can just grind this one down and take the mats and then try to craft another one. The only problem is that you have no weight, so your character has no weight left. You're at 100 weight. It's pretty hard to do things when you don't have the weight to move things around. So you can always put this in a grinder, grind it up, and then later on you can come back and take another mind wipe tonic and try crafting it again. I'm gonna keep all 3 of these just because I really don't want to keep overcrafting stuff. Once you get like a full set of 18 or 19 of them, then you can start worrying about recrafting some of the lower level ones. Or even crafting like a better one, like one of the Ascended ones, if you have a better blueprint to craft from. But that is it. So once you're done, just take another one of these, and you can now respec back into your stats that you started off with. If you do health, it's going to take your health down really low. So it might take you a little while to get that health back. I mean, you could fix this by just eating some food with high healing, or just by taking some medical brews. Those also work as well. But yeah, so that's it. That's it for crafting stuff. So I've been working on these, and we got 3 more. I have some already crafted, or I've actually found some. They weren't crafted. They found some. They're a little bit better than these. So we have probably a total of 10 right now. So I need to go work on getting a few more resources to craft this. What are we low on? I think we're low on hide. Yeah, of course, hide. I might actually bring this over to the island and start crafting them over there. Just because it's not too difficult to get all this stuff over on the island as well. Especially smithing paste is probably the hardest thing. And we just have to go to the caves more often. So yeah, I just wanted to show you this. And now you know how to craft stuff the correct way, where you can get the maximum amount of stats from your blueprints. So I'll see you back on the island. Alright, we're back on the island. And what we're going to do now is we're going to get ready for going to the water caves. But before we do that, I wanted to show you one quick thing. So if you have a really high crafting skill, you are able to make some crafted food recipes. So I have some right here. So these are the recipes right here. And these are just different recipes that if you hover over them, you can see the stats for them. So it gives me 186 food, whereas like a cooked meat would give me like 20 food. So the benefits of this is that it gives you better stats for your food, takes your crafting skill, and you can create a custom recipe that will apply that crafting skill to the food that you make. And in order to do this, you need to have a cooking pot and a piece of paper, and then some kind of ingredient. So we have these 2 things in here, and what we do now is we just open the menu and we see this little notebook here, and we can just click on this. It says make recipe. So what it does is it brings up this screen, and this will let you make a food or even a drink item, and you can pick through different types of pictures or whatever, and different kind of colors. So there's different ways you can customize this. And whatever food you have in here, that's going to be the ingredients. And so what this will do is this will then make a recipe like this. So we have this right here. And this is a custom recipe that I made. And what this does is it gives me a bunch of food. It also gives me a bunch of health. So different ingredients will give you different results. I think the main things are food, health, and stamina for the food items. And then for the drink items, it's going to be water, health, and stamina. So you can actually get drinks that gives you more stamina or more health when you drink them. And at that point, all you have to do is just put the recipe into anything that you can cook with. Then you can put the ingredients in there. So this one in particular requires 5 prime cooked meats. Turn it on. And we just click it. And there we go. We have our food. So it converts the 5 prime meats into a cooked recipe. So this is pretty convenient for reducing like weight and also reducing the amount of things you need to hold in your inventory. And you also could get a bunch of health benefits from that. So like you can actually get more health from the food. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that while we're on the topic of getting more crafting skill and how to use that. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get ready for our adventures into the caves, which are gonna be the 2 water caves. So the biggest things you're going to need are going to be some dinosaurs that can go into the water. And we're going to use basilosaurs. We're also going to need some armor. So we're going to need some scuba gear, which is here. I would recommend taking multiple sets. And I've gotten a lot of these other drops on the Scorched Earth map. You tend to get a lot of these from the red drops in the desert. You don't need too many of everything else. You can probably just take 1 of each of these things. I would take the best legs possible, because the legs will give you a lot of cold resistance, and this combined with an otter should definitely get you enough cold resistance to not have any issues while you're swimming around. I would 100% recommend taking some flippers as well. And that's pretty much it. So just a couple of things. Actually, I would take an extra one on top of that. So what we're going to have is we're going to have 2 of them on us, and we're going to have 1 on shore in case we die. Then we can actually bring that spare one and use that one to get back down where our body is. So we're going to have some scuba gear, and then the dinosaurs we're going to be using are going to be some basilosaurs. And these I leveled them up a little bit. They aren't very much leveled up. So I do have 2 of them. I have a 3rd one that we're gonna have to probably grab. And then I just have a place to store some stuff. So just a little box. Yeah, I think we have everything that we need. We got food, we don't really need water, to be fair, because we're gonna be underwater. And we have our otter. So make sure you have your otter. And I'll see you at the spot we need to be at. Alright, here we are at the spot. So we're gonna be right around here on the map. So there's the peninsula where our little pen is over here, and the very top of this, right around here, 58.2 by 6.9. We're gonna go down into the water down here. You can probably go a little bit further up if you wanted to. I just don't like being on this coastline up here. I'll prefer to start off down here. And what I'm gonna do right now is probably use my wyvern as a storage bin for now. And so what I did was I took off some stuff that I didn't need. I don't want to lose some of these things, like my whip. Of course I don't want to lose that. And my little pet, I took that off as well. So we just have some normal gear. I probably could take off some of these items, just replace it with what I currently have on here. Yeah, we probably just take all this stuff. We'll give him our clothes as well. And we should be set. Everything we're going to be using is going to be the scuba gear. So we're going to use like a full set of scuba gear. Alright, so this is a pretty good spot to start off from. It's pretty shallow, so we don't have to worry about any megalodons or artifactinists in here. These guys both are pre-leveled. One of them might be short on health. No, they're both good in health. Okay. And I gave them both saddles. So I'm gonna just use one for now. And then if I have to throw the other one out, I will do that. And I'll use that one. Chances are we probably wind up using both of them. Alright, let's head down to the cave. So we're gonna put in our gear real quick. And we should be good after that. So the cave entrance is just down below us. And it's a little bit difficult to find if you've never been here before. But what you want to look for is a little bit further north from where we started at. There's going to be a bunch of like kelp. And there's going to be a huge drop off. So this is the drop off you want to look for. And this is where the cave entrance is right down here. This is the easier of the two caves. Oh, is that a crate? Well, it is. Nice. Let's put that crate real quick. So this is one of the easier of the two caves. And the other cave is far more difficult than this one. This one can be a little difficult depending on what spawns in there. And I actually have not been in there on this map yet, so we're going to experience this for the first time. So it'll be interesting to see. Alright, so let's grab this. There's trilobites everywhere. Make sure nothing's over here. A lot of water creatures are fast. Okay, plesiosaur saddle, I think. Yeah, so this is where you can get quite a bit of the black pearls from too, is in here. There's a lot of trilobites and stuff in this cave and the sea scorpions. I actually prefer farming up this cave. If I can't find any Tusos right away, I'll just come to this cave and just farm it up for the black pearls, which you're going to need quite a bit of once you get into tech. Alright, and a lot of this stuff in here you can probably avoid by just staying close to the ceiling. And because we're on a basilosaur, they can't go very deep without taking damage, so you might have to stay close to the top of the map anyways, so you can avoid taking damage. It's not a lot of damage, but there's a little bit of damage. Alright, so let's keep on going. This is a pretty linear cave. It does open up quite a bit, but for the most part it's pretty linear. You can see that all stuff's coming towards us now, like a bunch of eels and all these things in here, jellyfish. This is why you want to bring a basilosaur, because they are immune to all the things that would knock you off a mount. One of the problems you're going to run into is your inventory filling up pretty quickly. Is that an alpha? Oh, that's not an alpha. Good. That was an alpha. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things I'm concerned about is an alpha megalodon with a bunch of other megalodons around it. That does quite a bit of damage. And you probably have to throw out your other basilosaur to deal with it. But yeah, you can stay to the top. There are quite a few drops in here, and these are actually one of the best drops in the map. All the drops in here are some of the best drops in the map. So if you find a red drop in here, definitely go for it. And if you plan on taming more stuff, what you could do is you could keep all the jellyfish stuff that they drop. So they drop this toxin, biotoxin. Keep this stuff because you can actually convert that into better darts. There is a better version of the darts that you can use that are really good, and they do help quite a bit, especially for taming like gigas and stuff. They do way more torpor. Alright, so let's go to the top here, and we're just going to swim along the top. Try to avoid going down too far. And like I said, it's pretty linear. Like, there's not really any place you can go. You can try to squeeze in over there, but both of those paths go back to the same spot. So, won't worry about getting too lost. But if you do want to, you can just keep to the left wall, and then you should be fine. This is a very long cave, but it's very quick to get through. Alright, there's a red drop down here. Although there's a lot of stuff in here. There's a Factinus in here? Oh, there is. Oh, no. Okay, so I guess they've added Factinus in here as well. And there's an Alpha Megalodon. That's gonna be fun. So yeah, I'd be very careful with that. The Factinus have a bleed damage. So what we probably could do is we could probably try to get them over here. Just by shooting them. I'm like too low. Let's get this Factinus over here. I want to take everything on separately. Okay, so yeah, the fact that there's Factinus in here does make this a lot more challenging. So the only things I would probably keep, maybe some darts, but other than that, keep the shark teeth. You're gonna need these, and of course, you know, keep the stuff that like the black pearl and the biotoxin. Other than that, you can throw everything away. But yeah, it does a lot of damage, those things, just because they do like a stacking bleed damage and it just adds up. And the fact that they're over 200 makes it really challenging. So yeah, I didn't know that was going to be the case. But let's pump some more melee, and then let's try to move our way closer to this. I see some Moors Factinus, or is that just... It's eels, okay. I want to get this shark over here. So I'm going to try to get this shark... Oh, there's another Factinus right there. Nigeria. Okay. I'm trying to take it slow. Okay, that took a very long time. We did get some shark teeth though, and nothing really else. So yeah, we got quite a few levels. That's nice. But our Basilosaur is so beat up. So one of the cool things about the Basilosaur is you can actually take them to the surface. They actually gain their health faster. So let's do that here. Let's grab this. And let's go up to the top where the surface of the water is. And we should be gaining our health faster. What we're probably going to do is have to get our other Basilosaur. Just kill these guys. Alright, now we got a fresh basilosaur that we can finish the rest of the cave with. So the biggest thing you want to worry about is going to be separating the alphas and try to get as few things with the alphas as possible, because the alphas do boost up the damage of everything else around them. So if you can like kill the smaller things first and then get the alpha by itself, it does help out a ton. We took way less damage with that. Like, I think if we would have had the alpha and the Zinfactinus, we probably would have died there. So you want to be very careful with that. There's some more Zinfactinus. Yeah, the fact that these things are in here, it does make this cave so much harder. It's interesting though. I'm glad they put them in here. This was not a normal dino on the map until just recently. But yeah, these things hit really hard. I'm kind of wondering if it's even possible to use Megalodons now. I want to say that we're safe now. I'm like 90% certain that we're safe. I don't see anything else. Everything's really hard to see in the water, just because of the water effect, and it's really hard to see stuff in here. So let's just hop off and see, and then hop back on and see if anything comes. Alright, we're good. Let's grab this, and this is the Artifact of the Brute. So this one is definitely harder to get on the island map than it is to get on the center map. And I do have a video about how to get the Artifact of the Brute on a center, and what we'll probably do is I'll probably go down there and do it again. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but I just want to show you like where it is on the map just really quickly, just on this playthrough, in case you didn't watch the other video. But yeah, artifacts in the water caves are much harder to get. Alright, let's put our otter down. Let's give you the artifact. There it is. And let's go back into our mount, and then we can get the artifact and just get out of there. I'm not going to spend too much time fighting on the way out. We should be clear still. There's the artifact, it respawned. So it kind of blends in a little bit with the background, but it's like right in the middle of this cave. So if you get to the dead end in the cave, like here's the coordinates too, by the way. It's 2.8 and 17.4. Get to the dead end of the cave, just look towards the middle of that section, and you should be able to find this thing. So we'll have to quickly go out of here. If I do see a red drop, I'm going to grab it, because it was definitely worth grabbing red drops in here. And there are quite a few drops in here. This is a pretty good spot to look for certain drops. But I'm not going to spend too much time. I don't want things to respawn on me, because Zinfactinus plus a alpha of any sort would be pretty devastating. So just to get out of here, you can just follow the same way you went. So just hug the right wall instead of the left side. And then you'll just eventually make it out the main channel, which will lead you to the cavern entrance. Alright, so I made it out. So yeah, this is, that was the cave. It's not terribly hard, although it is definitely harder than it used to be. I would definitely recommend bringing multiple basilosaurs so you can switch them out. Otherwise, I think my other one would have died. And then try and pull the alphas separately from everything else. That's all I could suggest in that instance. If you do happen to pull everything at once, you probably want to throw out your other basilosaur before they get to you. But yeah, other than that, that's the Brute artifact, and this artifact is definitely easier to get in the center map than it is to get on the island, because that cave can be a little rough. There's ways you can speedrun it, but I don't think it's possible to speedrun it anymore with surfactantness in there. It's too risky, I think. Alright, so I'm going to head back to the base, and then I'm going to drop off these artifacts, and then we'll head to the next cave. Alright, here we are on the other coastline now. So let's take a look at the map. And this is the next cave we're going to go to. So we're all the way over here. And if you look at this area, let's first put the coordinates. The coordinates are 45.6 and 93.5. So if you look at this area, you have this mountain to the north, and then you have this swamp to the south. You kind of want to be out of render distance of both of those things, just in case there's Rexes and stuff, or maybe even a Giga down there, eating the stuff on the beach. And then also there's different types of dinosaurs in the swamp, including now Deinosuchus. So those are also in the swamp now. So have to be careful with that. So this cave is easy to find, but what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put down a raft. What are you doing? Also raptors on this beach too, like quite a few of them. So be careful. And then there's also snakes too that come wandering this way. I'm going to move a little bit further up. Let's just get rid of this guy, just so he doesn't attract anything else. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put a raft down. I'm just doing this just to have a place to store stuff. So we'll put this chest here. And then we'll also put a bed down. And that should be it. I mean, that's all we really need. We can put our spare stuff in here that we might use. So I'm probably only going to need like 2. I'm going to get this as well. That should be good, I think. Yeah, I think that should be fine. So that's what we have on us. I do have some food on me, so we should be fine with that. I'm not going to really keep the dragon anywhere specific. So we'll just let him be here, it's fine. Get some food on him. Yes, I think we're ready to go. So if we do die, we can just spawn right here on this bed. Nothing's really gonna mess with him, like unless we render in Rexes from that mountain over there. Or if you're on a big server with a lot of people flying around. Nothing really is gonna mess with him on this beach, for the most part. Maybe a Deinosuchus might, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So I'll start off with our better leveled one. Let's put on some gear. I'll stick with the green. Let's put on the flippers. We should put everything on. I probably could leave my gear up here. I'll do that. I'll just leave my gear up here. Alright, we're ready to go now. So let's go underwater. This is actually really easy to find, this cave entrance. If you came off the coastline right here, you just look for this big yellow light area. This is where the cave entrance is. It's like right down here. So you can see this from a very long distance away. And then the cave is right here. So like right underneath where we just parked at. And this cave is the scariest one out of all the caves, I think, on the island. Just because you have the potential to really lose some stuff in here. Now, there's a lot of enemies in here, and they're very, very high level. So take it very slow if you're just starting off. I also recommend sticking to the top of the cave as well. We're gonna try to clear as much as we can. And there's going to be one spot we have to like really focus on because it's like a choke point. And once we get there, I'll talk about that a little more. But there are a lot of things in here, like a lot of drops that are really good in here. This is probably one of the best drops in the island. Maybe the deep sea drops are a little bit better, but these are pretty equivalent to those. Oh, look at all these effectiveness. Yeah, so we have, okay, these aren't too much higher, like, higher level than what we had. Actually, they seem to be lower level. Okay, so these aren't too bad, I guess. Let's go ahead and kill stuff here. You can have a really high chance of getting swarmed in here, so you need to be very careful. You do not want an alpha to be mixed in with everything. Alright, I think that part's done, but that's just the beginning though. So yeah, we took a lot of damage there. Like a third of our health is gone. So if we go to the very top here, we probably could avoid a lot of this. And there's a spot that you can sit up here at, in case you want to like regen your health. So yeah, like at the very top of this thing, there's going to be these little openings that you can probably go up to. The higher you go up with these basilosaurs, the more health they regen. So like up here, you can come up here. I think, well, it's not quite an opening, but you can definitely regen some health up here if you need to. It's a nice little safe spot, assuming you've killed everything. But yeah, so that's another spot you can go to. There's like a lot of these little openings you can kind of spend the time at if you need to. But I'm just really concerned about the alphas in here. That's the only thing I'm nervous about. Everything in here is going to be dangerous, so even the Dunkleostis will attack you. So you probably want to just spend some time and slowly clear everything out. You might be out of range too, at the very top here, of like everything from aggroing you. You definitely run the risks of getting swarmed later on if you don't clear everything out. Alright, we're able to avoid a few things down there. I think if we stick to the top, we should be fine. I'm not really going to go for any drops and stuff while I'm in here, at least not the first round. Alright, up here, yeah, this is a safe spot up here too. You can regen your health pretty quickly up here as well, in this cave. So if we look at our health, it's going to go up quite a bit quicker up here than it would be if you were actually under the water. And of course you can eat some food and stuff, and that'll speed it up as well. If you need to like regen, you can definitely spend some time up here regenning, or you can like take the time and switch out your basilosaurs if that's what you're using. So either one's going to be helpful. Just make sure you clear as much as you can before you start doing this, because you don't want to get attacked while you're in the middle of feeding. Alright, so once you get back enough of your health, you can go back down. So this is what we want to look for. Let's look down here. It's going to be this little bridge. So let's go around here. So you'll see these two little bridges here, one over there and one over here. So what you want to do is, once you find these bridges, and you're in the middle of this room here, you want to look for the tunnel. And the tunnel is going to be off to the right here. So we're kind of facing the south part of this area. And right here, there's going to be a little tunnel. And there's going to be this little pillar here too. And this is like a pillar that's going to be marking that tunnel. It's actually pretty easy to see that pillar. Let me clear these guys out real quick. Yeah, so if you don't come from that direction, if you just go straight and follow the cave's gonna like go that way in that little section. We're definitely gonna see this pillar. This pillar has like the tech stuff on it. It's pretty easy to see that, and just behind that's gonna be this cave. I do need to kind of clear this pillar out though, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. Be very, very careful though, because I don't want to get anything extra. Alright, so this is like the main area that we were just at, and like up there's the water, the surface, and then there's like more surface over here. So if you like follow the surface along, you're gonna find this like tech pillar, and this is where you want to go. So behind that, I think this is the only one in the cave too, so it should be pretty easy to spot this thing. And behind that is this little hole in the ground. Now this cave goes pretty far in. You're gonna find like a little tunnel, even smaller tunnel that goes further in, and it's gonna be red. So if you've hit that, you've gone too far, you need to turn around. But this is the tunnel you want to go in. This is where the artifact is. So down here, there could be a lot of stuff down here. Be very, very careful coming down here, because you can get stuck. Yeah, you see all the stuff in here. So we have Dunkleos, and we have Megalodons. So lots of stuff in here. Clear everything out, because the artifact is going to be right up there. So you want to clear everything out in this area, including the donkeys, which are damage resistant. Alright, and this is a little part you need to go down. So once you see this area, this is where the actual artifact is. Straight ahead over there. Lots of donkeys over here. Alright, those things are super tanky. So let's get rid of some stuff on us. Let's see what we got. Just a bunch of fish meat. Let's just get rid of all the fish meat. Yeah, nothing else I don't need on here. And then down here is going to be sea scorpions. You can actually kill these things too. They give black pearls. Definitely a pretty good source of black pearls. And what we're going to do is probably throw out our other basilosaur. So let's do that. And this is the artifact of the Cunning. Yep, artifact of the Cunning. Alright, so that's quite the process to get down here, as you saw. We did take a little bit of our time and was pretty careful with what we were doing. I did not want to lose everything, which is definitely possible to do that. Let's grab this. Yeah, so I'm gonna go on this one now. So what we could do, there's a jellyfish up there. That's pretty scary. We'll kill that jellyfish. I was gonna pop out my otter But it's kind of hard to do that under this spot because it's all underwater here. So I guess we probably could just be very careful and talk. Did that guy just respawn? Yeah, I think just respawned on ice. So yeah, let's just throw our otter. Let's go swim to the ceiling, so you have to be very careful. And then, is it stuck? Come on, otter. Alright, let's give him the artifact. And let's loot the next one. I'm gonna try to kill this thing while we're waiting. Alright, so they respawn. Let's go hop off and get this thing. There we go, we're good. We got both of those artifacts. Let's head out of here and let's go back to the base. I'm gonna really try to avoid combat. On your way out, you want to conserve your stamina as much as you can, because you might have to run. Especially if you have a lot of stuff chasing you. So head for the ceiling and then try to work your way out. Alright, this is the exit, so we made it out. There's the sharks that we saw earlier. Probably should kill them, they're going to chase me all up the top, the surface. We just kill these things real quick. Alright, let's take our gear off. We don't need this gear on us right now. Yeah, so this is the surface. Alright, so let's get our basilosaur. Take all this other stuff off me. There we go. Let's get him, and then we should be good to go. We have 2 of the artifacts. We have a copy of each one. I'm going to leave the boat here. You can move this raft around if you wanted to. But should be safe on this area. There's not going to be anything that's going to be attacking it. It's not on a PvE server. So you should definitely be safe. I would not go too much further out. Like, I would not go that much further out than these like rocks right here. If you're going to park here. Just because there could be elite sickness there. So you don't want to lose your boat to elite sickness. But yeah, let's head back to the base. So that's going to be it for that cave. So when we get back, we'll talk about the differences between these caves and where we can find these on the center map. Alright, back at the base. So we did get our 2 brute artifacts and our 2 cunning artifacts. So we'll be able to use those when we start summoning bosses. And now what I want to do is I want to go over to the center just to show you where those artifacts are located on that map. So I'm going to take a swimmer. I'll probably use this one because this one's got some really low health. And I'm going to use my otter. I'll put it in a cryopod just because I didn't want to drop it whenever I was transferring over. And I didn't really want to go find a drop to get it back, so we have an otter, we have a swimmer, we also have some scuba gear. We don't need that for very long, so you don't need a lot of scuba gear. It's pretty quick to get that artifact of the brute. but it does require you to go underwater to get it. That's pretty much it, so let's head over there and then I'll show you where those 2 artifacts are located on the center map. Alright, here we are at the Artifact of the Brute on the center map, so we're way underwater here, and this is where we are, roughly 66.9, 88.8, and I do have a video on how to get this artifact in more detail, but I want to show you like how much easier it is. Oh, there's a plusie coming. That's 145, that's unfortunate. It is attacking me though, so we have to kill this thing. Okay, so yeah, this is where we're at on the map, so 67, 88.8 roughly. And this is the Artifact of the Brute. So if you have access to like single player or a cluster and you can get to this on the center map, I would highly recommend getting this from the center map versus getting it off of the island. Just because it's so much quicker and there's less stress and less risk involved. If you do bring a Bassi, you're going to be so deep underwater that it's going to cause it to take damage. So they do take a little bit of damage the deeper they go. And we are pretty deep under the water, so it's not a whole lot of damage. Like it's like a few damage here per second. And these things have so much health though, so it's not that big of a deal. So you don't want to be underwater for too long with these things. So if you have something else, you can use that. But yeah, so that's where it's located at. And if you want to like put this into your otter, you have to go back up to the top and then drop your otter off and then come back down. So I'll probably do that just to have an extra pair of artifacts to summon bosses. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that. So let's go to the next artifact, which is going to be the Artifact of the Cunning. That's even easier to get to. Doesn't require any swimming or any of that stuff. Let's head over there now. Alright, so the next artifact we're going to get is going to be the Cunning. And I want to start off here at the green obelisk. So you're going to see this little, I guess, iceberg in the middle of a pond. And we're going to go up in the air and past that. You can fly all the way down to this spot. So look at the map. We're just going to go straight to the west. So let's go do that. And we're going to head towards the edge of the world. Alright, the edge of the world's right here. So what we need to do now is go down. So we're gonna kind of go past the edge of the world and go down. You definitely need some sort of flyer for this. You can't do this on your own. I think it's falling down over there. I don't know what that was. Oh, more stuff's falling. And then go underneath this little ledge. There's gonna be a whole nother like underground world here. And as you can see, there's going to be this nice big ice castle. That's where we want to head for, is that. So we just kind of go over the edge of the world and go underneath the world. There's a lot of layers to this map. This is the next layer down. Alright, so here's the castle. It's like a broken ice castle. And I like doing it this way because you can fly all the way through here and get to the artifact this way. You don't have to like jump off your flyer. So here is the Artifact of the Cunning. As you can see, this is like incredibly easy. This is so much easier than what we just did in the caves. Let's grab this one. There we go, Artifact of the Cunning. Same exact artifact that we got out of the hard water cave. One that we got swarmed in, so this is much easier. You throw out your otter and give it the artifact. Just wait for it to respawn. This is why I was recommending like coming to the center if you have access to the center. Which if you're in single player or if you're playing official, you definitely have access to the center in both instances. And it's not quite turned on yet, but they will be turning it on very soon where you can actually transfer stuff back and forth. And if you're watching this in the future, you don't have to worry about that at all. It's already turned on and it's already ready to go. You can transfer things back and forth. And hopefully they keep the transfers of the artifacts on. And if not, then you have to go through the 2 water caves to get them on the island map. But yeah, I'm gonna let this thing respawn. Roughly 30 seconds, and then we can grab this next one. So we have 2 sets of these. And that's pretty much it. We can just go up to the green obelisk now and just go back to our own island map. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. So we did get both of the artifacts from the 2 underwater caves. We used Basilosaurs to get those. And we did get both of the artifacts from the center map, which as we saw are very easy to get on center. Just a little bit of a swim and then a little bit of a flight for both of those artifacts. And of course we did start off the episode with creating some of the saddles from the blueprints, which we still need to farm up some of those saddles. We're getting there for the Megatheriums, but that is kind of like the longest part of the whole thing, is getting those saddles farmed up. So I'm going to try to get them farmed up pretty quickly so we can start working on those bosses. I need to go get another card char so I can start breeding a good one with that one that we got in the previous episode. And then yeah, we're kind of on our way towards finishing up the map, so we do need to do the boss fights. And really the biggest part of the island map is just the preparation for the bosses. And once you get prepared enough, the bosses aren't too terrible. They're pretty straightforward. And we could take in some of the same dinosaurs into the boss fight on the center map as well. It's just farming up those resources on center are a little bit more difficult. But that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you for watching. I appreciate all of the support. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.